Welcome back to episode 2 of the New North Collective Digital Concert Series, where you will get to meet more of our musical guests and media collaborators. We'd like to begin with a song that was co-written by Nive Nielsen and Diyet, titled Outside. This performance, recorded in Whitehorse in June of 2019, features our musical guests, Greenland singer-songwriters Nive Nielsen, Charlie Shapiro, and Yukon guitarist and producer Bob Hamilton. What does freedom feel like? It's running across rocks and tundra, playing chase until midnight, fighting your own battles and wearing your bruises and your scars proudly, eating crowberries up the side of the mountain, rolling back down when you're full, trusting yourself to find your way back home when you've wandered off too far. And it's finding those feelings again when your world is closing in on you.
We fall down hard, get hurt, and it's normal. Might as well learn what we have to learn. There are no distractions to soften the falls, so we learn to pick ourselves up and move on. Better to live than to hide. We won't forget to live outside. Better
Hi, I'm Carmen Braden from Yellowknife, Northwest Territories, and in the New North Collective I play piano and keyboards and I sing.
If you ask an old-timer what they would need in order to live a happy life, he or she may answer some tea, dry matches, bullets, an axe, chainsaw, and family. You can build a good life that way. So you can imagine that a lawnmower is not the biggest seller in the stores up north, but somehow I think that's all changing.
Hey, I'm Graeme Peters, multi-instrumentalist for the New North Collective. Normally this isn't my natural habitat, but I'm finally on a warm vacation. It's beautiful. It's supposed to be a hurricane, but it's not. So that's awesome, rock and roll. I play drums, piano, guitar, sing, and write songs for our group. I hope you like all that you hear. Rock on!
As our live show developed, we commissioned northern-based media artists to produce dynamic projection designs to enhance our live performances. We were excited to explore how an overhead projection concept might complement our music. So we reached out to Yukon media artists Barbara Hinton and Leah Faber-Dimsdale to create such a design for some of our songs. On a frigid January evening in the old fire hall in Whitehorse, Barb and Leah joined us at our rehearsal and blew our minds with their creations for First Sign of Spring and Raven's Blues. With deft hands, they played the overhead projector and the delicate transparencies like a finely tuned instrument, bringing a colorful and playful vibe to each of our songs. We were thrilled to have them join us later on that week, live on stage at the Yukon Arts Center, where we performed for the Available Light and Film Festival. After the festival, we asked videographer Brett Elliott, Leah, and Aaron Corbett, who stood in for Barbara Hinton, to videotape their presentation so that we could take it on the road with us. This is Raven's Blues.
This is a story of Turkey. This story was told to me by my grandmother. It was probably told to her by her grandmother, and her grandmother, and her grandmother. This story of Turkey tells us how he was painted, and how he painted all the birds in the world. You see, a long time ago, before the humans walked and ruled this earth, the birds and the animals stood upright and they talked, just like you and I. And there was one fellow, Turkey, or Raven as we know him, who decided one day that he would gather all of his friends, all of his bird friends, and he would paint them. Because, see, in those days, birds didn't have any color at all. So he gathered them all down at the river, lined them up, and painted.
Blackbird, you're always talking in rhyme. Blackbird, you're always flying too high.
Well, he lined them up, one by one, and he mixed paint from the ochre, from the moss and the minerals, and he colored them so beautifully. All the colors in the world painted. They were so happy. As he got to the end, he realized that he was the only bird that didn't have any color. And he wasn't very happy about that. So he decided that he'd paint himself. Well, he started to mix the paint, and he painted himself one way, and then another way. Then he painted himself again, and again, and again. He was just not satisfied, you see. He could not be satisfied with himself. And he made all of the birds stay and wait. And days go by, and they grew very impatient with him. So they decided to play a trick on the trickster. Was turned because he was looking at his reflection in the river. All of the the birds got together and they mixed all of the paint into one big pot. And they said, "Hey, Turkey, come over here. We have an idea. We're going to paint you. We're going to paint you so beautifully." And so he stood and he said, "Okay then, we'll do it." And they did. But they dumped a big pot over his head. And he squawked and he squawked and he screeched. And he ran to the river to look at himself. And when he got there, he saw his reflection. And staring back at him was the blackest of birds. And try as he might, he just could not wash that color off. The harder he scrubbed, the deeper it sunk. And he was so angry.
Blackbird, you get what you ask for. Blackbird, you're not so pretty anymore. Blackbird, you're always talking in rhymes. Blackbird, always flying too high.
But then Trickster is tricky. And when the sun came out, the light shone down, reflected off of his feathers, and he could see every single color shining back at him. So maybe that Turkey, that trickster, got the last laugh after all.
Thank you very much for tuning in to this second episode of our digital concert series. You can check out more about the New North Collective, along with links to our digital shows at newnorthcollective.ca.